The printing, production and return of the surveys is basically an automated system. There is a first stage when you have to register, which you can see on the blue steps, which are one-off. Once you've done them, you don't have to repeat them. Initially, the PPI team will send you a link to a website. When you click on that, you'll receive a passcode to go into the Pedic website and register and log in. You may find that when the email is sent back to you, the login details will appear in your junk mailbox. That's completely dependent on the local settings of your PC, but remember to have a look in there if you need to. Once you've registered, the process it repeats itself every time. Basically, you use the login and the password which you've created for yourselves to go onto the Pedic website, select your survey, the number of copies you want, and print it out. Those surveys you then obviously distribute to service users who complete them, and you collate them and collect them. If possible, please batch up as many surveys as you can. All the data we receive will be batched up and reports prepared at the end of every month so that they will be issued to relevant members of Trust staff at the beginning of every month. This slide gives you a demonstration of what the website looks like. It's fairly straightforward. The information is there for you to check and understand to ensure that you have the right survey. So you have your SU code, service type. The service type is particularly important if you deliver both inpatient and outpatient services. It also gives a count on how many surveys have been printed, which is just a reference for you. The bottom right of the screen shows you an example of what the surveys look like. The proof mark on there will stay on there until you print the real survey that is your survey. We would ask that you print separately for each set of surveys that you run as opposed to photocopying them. I'll now hand you back to Ray to talk about the reporting capabilities.
Thank you, Humphrey. The reporting capabilities are basically a summary of what we've just seen and listened to. What does Pedic 2 provide for us now? Well, it's centrally managed, automated reporting. Reports are emailed to all teams. The CAG executive or appropriate staff in the CAGs will receive summary reports, and this enables benchmarking and action planning on areas of service improvement. Nearly done, and I'm now going to hand you back to Susan.
Okay, so what I'm going to run through now are next steps and key dates that you need to be aware of. So, the new Pedic will launch on the 11th of June. Each team will receive an email from the PPI team, and in this email you will have a link to the Pedic site and your SU code. An SU code is linked to your service, and it's a code which uniquely identifies your teams. And we use your SU code to identify your team and link it to the survey you print off. So, as soon as you receive this email, you first need to register and print off your surveys. So, you follow the instructions on the email that tells you how to register. You then need to undertake your surveys and send them back to Freedom Health before the 6th of July. This will enable us to include your results in the baseline figures we have to send to the commissioners. Reports will then be issued within 3 weeks to you on your survey results. The aim then going forwards is that you need to repeat the surveys on a regular basis. As a minimum, we ask you to repeat them on a quarterly basis to feed into the quarterly reporting cycles. But ideally, it would be good if you could build it into a regular process within your service. For example, some services are including it as a routine part of their regular CPA review process. So now Humphrey is going to go over a few commonly asked questions.
This isn't an entirely new system for the Trust to be using. It's something we've been piloting over the last few months with some teams. During that period, we've come up with one or two or a few very commonly asked questions. One of the common problems that comes up is people can't see the site. There are two reasons for this. The first one might be that you've taken the link in the first place and it's gone into a junk box, as already mentioned. The second reason is that you may need to just refresh your page with the correct Pedic address that's shown there. If it still doesn't show, then please check that your machine is loaded with Internet Explorer 8 or higher. If it's not, or you have a question about that, contact your IT help desk or log a call with them. Another common problem that we found in the early stages was that some of the forms didn't print very clearly or got stuck on printing. This is a problem that you have with your Adobe settings, and again, the best thing to do is to check with your local IT help desk or to log a call with them, and they can put those settings as you need them. Once you've batched up the surveys and you're ready to send them back, there's a free post address. That can either be completed by a service user who's done it as an individual form and taken it home or in another location, or by the team who have gathered and batched all of the surveys in one place. The address is shown on the slide. Another common question is how often you should be running the surveys. That really varies on your individual circumstances. You can run them as often and with as many people as you like, but it needs to be done at least once quarterly to allow us to benchmark and to track the sequence targets. Where can I see the results? The results will all be emailed to relevant members of the teams and will also be held by the PPI leads. If you want further detail on them or further information about them, please email the PPI team. Their email is shown below. Also, if you forget your password, then please again email the PPI team, and Freedom Health will send the password out to you within a few hours without sharing it with the team.
And finally, we hope you found that presentation useful and informative. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact the PPI team, which is Ray, Susan, Nell or Bill. We can be contacted on the PPI team SLAM email address or on extension 81674.